the X-Men are coming to the MCU in form of X-Men 97, the animated project that is a sequel to the original X-Men the Animated Series. And now the executive producer of that project talks a little bit about the pressures of being the first person to bring the mutants to Disney and Marvel Studios. So first up, the producer said that getting this gig and being able to do what the entire team wants to do with the project feels like a blessing, because Marvel Studios has such a love for the X-Men, and that they love the X-Men animated series so much that they are very much involved with every step of making sure that it feels authentic and goes all the way back to what made the X-Men cartoon special. Now, on top of this, they talk about the fact that Marvel Studios is very much handling this like every single other project that they have in development, where you don't need to rush it, you can take your time, that you have the ability to tell the story that you want, and characters that you're putting in there have to make sense. They're not just going to be appearing for absolutely no reason. And they also compare working on this to working on some of the other projects that have recently come out, such as Moon Knight, for example, talking about how not much of the process really changes, from how you write to how you produce and how you're going to get to the final step where the show is going to release. They did say that the pressure felt more like it was on them from themselves than anything else, because the expectations from fans are going to be high, and that they hope that they can truly capture the spirit of the 90s X-Men and really deliver what people would want that brings you a continuation decades later. And I think what they're saying here is you have the nostalgia goggles. And you also have that thing where maybe you haven't watched it in 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Maybe you haven't watched it since you were a kid. And in your mind, it looked and felt a certain way. And if you go back to it now, it doesn't live up to what your mind remembers. Because again, you were a child. This happens a lot with video games. You know, oh, I remember the graphics being so good. That was SmackDown 2? What? It looks like garbage, right? But again, nostalgia. The age, the time we were at, you know, how technology evolved. So they said that they're trying to definitely keep it in line with what we got before, but also kind of evolve it to a more modern day, which to me means Wolverine probably is going to do something with the claws finally, instead of just when he fights Sentinels.